Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. This is Christine, and I'm out of breath. Wow. Yeah, so we just got a major thunderstorm that went through here. And I just went downstairs to empty out my dehumidifier, and I just found a pond in my basement, in the utility room. So for the last 20 minutes, I've been shoveling up water with my dustpan into a bucket. I've got two buckets, like 4 gallons of water out. So, Kathy, you are just messaging me. I was a minute tardy. So, you guys, I gotta like take a deep breath here. Whew, I didn't want to be late for everybody. So I'm gonna give everybody a second to get on here. I don't see any comments coming through, but we'll give everybody a second and we will get going. I have a few people that have been trying to get on to these training videos that I'm doing, and they don't know exactly where to go. So I have a couple people in particular that are trying for tonight. So I want to make sure I get everybody on there. Whew, I turned the air down a couple degrees so I could cool off a little bit. So let me just get logged in. Hi, Diane. Diane, I had a disaster in my basement. I have water. You don't like water in your basement, right? It was a pond that was about an inch deep. So I am so happy there's a good slope in that room, but it was just starting to hit the edge of the finished basement. So, whew, oh, hi, Elaine. So, Kathy, you are in the class. Kathy, I just saw your message come through that but because you're commenting in here, that means you're in here. Hi, Angela. So that's a good thing. So girls, I'm like, oh, I need some, I need a fan blowing on me. I got rosy cheeks here. Whew, hi, Chris. Rain coming shortly. Okay, so girls, I have towels all around the perimeter of the basement area. I have gotten 2 buckets out already, and she's in. Yay, Kathy, I just got your message. So we're going to make some very, very, very pretty Christmas cards together. And then we are going to go check out the pond in a little bit. So let me just get the video up here. It's so much easier for me to watch here. Oh, I see Bonnie's in here too. Ava, is it Avis? Avis from Kansas. Thanks for joining. Yay. Okay. Mop and bucket. So I probably will take you up on that, Diane. I'm thinking our live will probably go about an hour, and I got most of it. I got it down to about like a quarter of an inch, or an eighth, but not a lot. But I was taking my dustpan and feverishly, like, I'm warm. Girls, I'm hot. So I was working in my work clothes. I hate sweating in my work clothes. So, hi, Arliss. So yes, now I don't think there's any water damage yet. So, basically what's happening is there's a spot that it's leaking, and I've already emailed it to my builder to find out what's going on. So we've noticed that, and I guess we got to figure out where it's coming in because it's not good. So, yes, but you would think, Elaine, that if the basement seeps a little bit, it was more than a seep. I could have, washed a cat down there or something. Not really. I don't know. You could have taken a bath almost, it seemed. So yeah. Oh, Barbara Brown, yay! I need a shop vac. Yes, they are lifesavers. So, I want to surprise Tyler. Tyler's been helping me so much with my project, and we don't have a shop vac, but from what I understand, with shop vacs, you can suck up the water. So I was going to buy Tyler a shop vac, and I think it's time. Kathy says I'm a hottie. I think it's time to get a shop vac. So, but you're watching from your phone, Arliss. Yes. Okay, so Diane just said that there's a storm coming too. So, hi, Mary Carl. So, I'm so excited. There are 12 of you. And in the haste of going downstairs to check on my dehumidifier, hi, Kate. So in the haste of, I didn't pull out my class list, but I know that Kathy, you have taken this as an online class. Thank you so much. She doesn't have her cards yet, unfortunately. Mary, did you get your cards? I mailed yours the day before yesterday. I think yours got in the mail because I had prepped for them. So Mary, did you get your cards? I also had, like, Angela, you have your cards. I was so excited, girls. There was 12 of you that did the online class. I had 10 last night for in-person. Lori and Terry are also doing it via the online class. And then I have class again on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And I have one set of kits left, girls. I always I find out how many people are signed up by a certain day, and then I kind of like think in my head how many people might sign up. So I have one set of kits for tonight left. If somebody is interested in them after we put the cards together tonight, you are interested in them, you can let me know. They would be $15 plus shipping, which is usually $3 or $4, or free with a $35 order. So okay. Oh, she got her cards. Good. So girls, I'm hot. So, okay. So that's a little update on the project. We got water in the basement. The other exciting news for where I'm at with the project is the electrical is all done. The plumbing is done. And I'm just waiting on one person to come and put the thermostat wiring in for the in-floor heating for us. Hi, Kathy, back. Yay, Patty Salter's watching. Patty, you're doing the online class. I got to get my glasses on so I can see your comments come through. Patty, you're doing the online class. And I know you were always questioning about getting in. So I'm so happy to see everybody tonight who's watching. I got comments here and I got comments down there. So that's super exciting. So you girls, so just so you know, for some of you that are newer to watching me live, I am about 10 seconds ahead of you, 5 to 10 seconds. So when I see your comments come through, sometimes, hi Jean Benson, I hope you're doing okay. So when I see your comments come through, it's usually like 10 seconds in the past for me. So if you're commenting or asking a question on something, it's always good to give me a little detail on what it was in reference to, because I'm already about maybe 3 ideas or 3 topics ahead or even one. And sometimes I have a really good memory, but sometimes I can't always remember what you're referring to. So I may ask you to give me a little bit more explanation. So, but yes, definitely ask questions, be engaged. I love that we can stamp together like this. So, hi Karen, hi Faye. Thanks for everybody joining. I love when you tell me where you're from when I don't know. I know a lot of the people on here, but when you're new to me, it's so exciting to see where we're reaching. We are located, I'm saying we because we're the Be Happy Stampers, and I got a great community of people, women primarily, and some guys that love to stamp. And so we all generally know each other when we're watching on the Facebook Live, but when you're new to the group here, it's so awesome when you say where you're from. So another thing too that I really appreciate is when you like and comment and share this video. So I got a lot of new names coming through here too, and that's because you girls are sharing with your friends. I try to make this fun and exciting and happy time for you. I think that a lot of you have been telling me that you look forward to your Thursday night stampings with me. It's Thursday night live from the hive, well, the makeshift hive. So it's exciting that you share. I lost the block on the floor. Hang on. Ugh. I won't remember that it fell if I don't get it right now. So it's so exciting that you share this with your friends, because if it's fun and exciting for you, I'm sure it's going to be fun and exciting for other people as well. So yay, it's all about having fun while we stamp. So wow, Barbara Brown, you're from Spring Hill, Florida. Yay. Okay, thanks for sharing, Diane. I really appreciate that. So in light of, hi Molly, in light of my basement water sightings, I'm not going to try to rush through tonight, but I am going to try to not dilly-dally as much as I probably do. So we're going to make 4 beautiful Christmas cards tonight. When I flip the camera down, I'll show them all to you, and I'm not sure which one we're going to start with. I usually start with the easy one and I work my way up, but I think that they're all about the same level of crazy. So you'll see what I mean when I show them. So, and then after that, I have a couple winners that I'd like to announce at the end. From people that watched the Ornate Garden class last week. So that's exciting. And then I want to tell you what's coming up in the pipeline for the next 3 Thursdays in a row. We're going to be stamping live on Thursdays. Thanks for sharing, Elaine. Hi, Kim. Kim also did this class live. Yay. So Kim, I bet you got your card kits. I'm hoping that you did. I had yours in the mail on Tuesday with Mary's. So all right, girls and boys. So I want to show you something. I'm so excited. So you girls may recall some of this. So one of my friends, Brenda and Crystal, I don't know if they were together. I read the note really quickly, but they left me these. They found them at an antique store and they thought I would appreciate them. And my mom was just over, and I showed this to my mom and I said, Mom, do you remember cards like this? And she said she does. And I vaguely remember these too. Hi, Julie. So I vaguely remember this where you made this, like there was a little doll type thing. And when you opened it up, you had like outfits that you could cut or something and put on the little pieces of like the animals. Do you girls remember this? So and it was even signed by somebody down here. So it's like an antique card. Hi, Sarah. It's like an antique card. And so I just wanted to share this. Look at this one. So this is what cards used to be like in the day. And it must have been in a scrapbook because there's glue behind here. But look at this. And then this flips over and that flips over. Isn't this crazy? And your old pal Agnes. so back in the day, look at these cards. And this is what I like the best. Not the outside, but I like the inside. Hi, Shar. This, it's not my grandmother's writing, but this is how my grandmother wrote. So this writing, it's 1938. So it reminds me of my grandmother when I look at this because that looks just like how she wrote. So, oh yes. So you girls, if there is a storm coming through and your internet starts to get shady on you, just know that when I'm uploading the video, so there will be it'll be seamless for uploading. So if it gets kind of spotty or sketchy with your internet at home, like because it's downloading the data, then know if it becomes a pain in your butt, just sign off and the video will always be here for you to watch whenever you want to. And just know that when you watch the replay, that the internet should be just fine, depending on if it's good by you, but it'll be seamless, so there won't be spottiness. So yes, the beautiful penmanship. My grandmother had the most beautiful cursive penmanship. So, oh, and Barbara has those in her baby box. They were very vintage cards. Oh, okay, so that's exciting. So you're gonna be 60 this year, yay. So, okay, girls, I think what we'll do is we're going to get started making some cards. So this is what I've got for you. So, yes, give me some thumbs up. I love the thumbs ups. I love the loves. It gives me encouragement and keeps me going. So, this card is all from Arliss. And Arliss sent me a thank you card with some money for an order that she had because she took the ornate class last week. So, she sent me a very nice thank you card with her payment. And it was this tuck fold card. And so, like, that folds. Now, Arliss, I'm sorry. I should have brought your card down. I actually have it stored away in my keep safe cards for future reference for ideas. But I got this card from Arliss and it had a different bird. I think it was from Birds and Branches, but it gave me the idea to do this card for the Christmas card class for the cardinal. So we are doing this one. So it's got this special tuck fold. So hi, Sue. So if you girls, there's one major, oh, I love the hearts. Thank you. So there's one major thing you have to remember for those that are putting this card together with me tonight is we have to remember not to put glue here. If you forget, it's okay. It really is. Like, I forgot when I was putting my sample together. And so now this one just won't tuck. And that's okay. We'll be fine. So this is our cardinal card. I call this one, hi Tara. I call this one Partridge in a Pear Wreath. And I just thought it was so adorable to put the pears in the wreath, and that's got the little partridge in it, and so we've got a little inside for that. So that's another card we're making. Our third card that we're going to make tonight is the pine boughs one. So Connie, who has been stamping with me for 4 years, absolutely loves these kind of cards with the pine boughs. And she is signed up for class. I'm so excited. She's signed up for class on Saturday, so she'll be making this card. This pulls out the pine cones and the boughs. Very simple with one sentiment. So when I designed these cards, girls, I designed in the mind of online classes without being, you're not able to stamp sentiments for people. So I tried to design cards that didn't require a lot of stamping. And then this last one is the beauty. It's a shaker card. Unfortunately, all my shakers in the inside have stuck. So they are all, like, if you look at this, they are all stuck at the bottom here. So yes, crazy, crazy. Oh my gosh, you girls. I just realized that I have everything to make. Oh, I saved it. Oh, I was going to say, I think I forgot to save one of these for my samples, but I saved one. Whew, lucky girl. So this one's a shaker card. So I've only used these shaker domes in class one time last year. Oh, actually it was early. Oh yeah, it was last year for the snowman. So we're going to make this. So Witty title for the partridge. Yes, I thought that was cute too. So I think we're gonna save this one for last, girls. And I think what I've been eyeing up is the partridge. I just love the partridge. So let's start with this one, and we will get what we need for this. So the paper that I featured here is In Good Taste. On 2 of the cards, it's In Good Taste Designer Series paper. And the one that I used here is on the back side. It's this one. It has that little hexagon, like chicken wire look to it, and then the wood grain. And so what's nice about this card is that it gets to feature the Designer Series paper on both sides. So over here, you get to see the wood grain, and on the inside, you get to see the hexagon. Now, this is a perfect type of card that you can make when you want to feature both sides of the Designer Series paper, because they're both pretty, right? So that is a cool technique for showcasing Designer Series paper. The one thing that you have to remember is that Designer Series paper comes 12 inches. Hi, Hillary. Designer Series paper comes 12 inches wide. So if you would cut this at 4 1/4, which is really what it would take to get to the crease here, you would only get 2 out of that side of the paper. So by cutting the Designer Series paper at 4 here, you get 1, 2, 3 of these pieces in one of the rows, and then you would get another row. So you would get 6 bases or 6 mats. Hi, Luann. So that is an important note when you cut your Designer Series paper, is to cut at 4 inches. So this piece is 5 1/2 by 4. And there's a little trick to assembling this that you don't get glue all over here. So for those that are stamping at home, don't get glue happy and start assembling. I want to make sure that you know where to glue and not to glue. And I did send you out the PDF tutorial last night, so maybe you read through that already. Okay, so let's get our card kit here. So I've already got a lot prepped. So I try to keep this in mind for the people that are at home making the cards with me, because I've done a lot of your prep work for you. So I always pre-stamp some of my things, so I don't necessarily need to do that with you. But here's the thing. This is a square. This is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, and it's scored at 4 1/4, which gives you this little bit of a flap here. I don't know where my ruler is, but I think it's like 1 3/8 or 1 5/8. It's something. It worked with me. It's about that much. And what I did for everybody who got their card kits from me is I actually had all of your card kits made, and I went back and I looked at the card and I thought, oh no, I never embossed your trees. So this is the Woodland embossing folder. It is one of my favorites. It's a thin one. So when you use a thin folder like this, what you need to do is make a sandwich with your plate. So you'll put it between a clear plate and a clear plate. So it goes in here just like this. Okay, so that's how that would run through. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. And by the magic of TV, it's already done for us. But just so you know, if you're doing this at home, what you would want to do is line up your score line to the edge of the embossing folder like this, and you need to run it through this way. And you have to be very careful because this embossing folder is a little bit wider than the plates. And if you have it over too far, it will start to eat the edge of this. So I've already run that through with the Woodlands embossing folder, so you can see that's already embossed. Yes, Diane, I love this embossing folder too. It is a great one for making naturey cards. Okay, so the ribbon that we use for this card is the Forever Greenery combo pack. The Forever Greenery, it's one of my favorite sweets. And I have the ribbon here. I want to show you. It comes as a 2-pack. It comes with, and we use this for the Fun Folds class. This Forever Greenery has this vanilla, it's like a cheesecloth, mixed with the gold. It's like gold baker's twine, or it's a really thin ribbon or twine. It's not so fun in terms of it spreads. So just know that it will definitely come undone like this. So you just have to be careful. When I made these baby bows for you, I had to double knot it. Otherwise, it started to come apart. So if you don't double knot this, those bows will fall apart. So you have to be very careful with this. So everybody who got the kits from me got a little baby double bow. And then you also got a piece of this gold. And how I measured it was like that. And what happens is I don't wrap my ribbon around a card like that. So if you're getting it at home and you're like, oh, I don't have enough to go around, that's because when you do that, you waste everything that's in the middle here. So what you have to do is watch me and you will learn how to save on ribbon. I like to show you little tricks and hacks on how to conserve paper and how to preserve ribbon or conserve it. So I'm using my Terran tape, which is a double-sided, very permanent tape. And I made sure to pay close attention that I did not go more than 1/4 inch from my score here, because that's where the Designer Series paper actually will end. So start by putting your double-sided tape or Terran tape on that part. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch the end of the gold twine. I'm going to cross it over and I'm going to end up making an X. So get here and you're going to squish the ribbon down and then just loop it right back like so. And then you're going to cross it, and I want to cross it more in the middle to the top so that my bow is going to sit right where that crosses. Then flip it over. Hi, Shirley. How are you doing, girlfriend? Okay, so do you see what happened here? We did not waste any ribbon right here. And now I like to make sure that I give my ribbon or twine a little sandwich of glue or adhesive tape. So I'm going to put a little bit more over the top of both of those. So now it will definitely not fall apart in 6 months. So grab a little liquid glue or whatever adhesive you like. And again, be very careful not to go over the edge where the Designer Series paper is. Hi, Linda. How are you doing, girl? Did you get your ornate cards, Linda? I hope you got them. So when you're looking at the wood, you want to pick which you like the best to be exposed, because part of it gets covered up. And I like the darker wood grain. So this Designer Series paper is 12 by 12 and it's all wood patterns. So what I do to put this together is I'm going to line up these two edges and these two edges. And then once I have them straight, all you're going to do is flip your left panel over the edge. And because I used the liquid glue, I want to give it about 10 seconds to really adhere to the paper so it doesn't want to fall off, because the liquid glue needs a little time to settle. Hi, Linnea. I bet Sedona's with you, and I bet Lily is watching. Hi, girls. If Mike and Vincent are there too, you can say I said hello. Oh, you got yours in the mail today. Perfect. Okay, so that's how you put this front panel onto this flap here. Okay, so when it comes to your inside, the stamp set that I used here, for those that are doing this at home, in case you don't have these stamps, I tried to help you out. I didn't know exactly what to do for you because I didn't know if you had this or not. But the stamp set that this came is called Arrange a Wreath, and I love this set. I'll be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest. I was not very particular of the wreath set that they had last year, but I loved this wreath, and I loved the dies that came with this wreath. And the dies, they came here. I'm just going to show this to you. These are the two wreaths. I loved these, and they're so much fun to work with. And then it has your pears, it has your Easter eggs, it has hearts, flowers, leaves, and so you have 5 different sentiments. Happy Heart Day, give thanks, Happy Easter, best wishes, Merry Christmas. So if you're looking for a stamp set that is very versatile, this is it. So for those of you at home that got the kits, that you don't have these stamps, I gave you a couple options. I think what I did is I cut out some blank birds and some blank pears for you. So you need 3 pears for the front of the card and a bird, partridge. So I cut out some blank ones, but I also believe I gave you a scrap of white so that in case you didn't have this stamp, you could stamp something else to put in your wreath or decorate it something else. I'd love for you guys at home or girls at home to show your cards that you made. I'd love to see the differences. Bobby just posted her card that she made with the ornate ones, and she did a fabulous job, and she just switched them up a little. So again, I have a partridge down here, but if you don't have the partridge, you can definitely mix this card up and make it into a different card. If you have a different bird at home or you want to decorate your wreath in a different way, that's quite all right. So this goes in the inside. Now, I generally would stamp a sentiment here, and I would use, so the colors that I used here are real red. And that's because the red gems are what was used here. Hi, Rhonda. So you can always go back and stamp that, but my general rule of thumb is to stamp the sentiment before gluing it in case you mess up, then you can flip it over. But I have faith in myself that I'm going to stamp that fine when I go to stamp it. So, all right, let's work on the front here then. So we have, this is the wreath. So those that got the kits from me, what you're going to need to do is, one of the things I don't do is I do not pick out all of these little pieces for you. I tell you, these cards were so heavily intensive on die cutting. I spent hours die cutting these, and I don't mind it. I love it. But one of the things I don't do is I don't pick out all your little bits out of your pieces. So you're going to have a little bit of picking tonight. So that you pick out those, and I don't know if you can see it. Oh, maybe a little bit. I stellaed this card. So there's a little bit of shimmer going on. And I did one already just to have it prepped. But then grab your Stella pens for those at home. And I like to Stella a couple things in class because sometimes you girls don't know what Stella is all about. So Stella is your best friend. We say in class that she's a girl's best friend, and it's controlled glitter. And what it does is it puts this nice sheen of shimmery on top of whatever it is that you put the brush tip over. It lasts a very long time, and you can rejuvenate Stella by adding water mixed with rubbing alcohol. So that's what it's all about to Stella. And I don't know if we'll see it on here, but sometimes the light catches. Oh yeah, you can see it's got a glistening look to it. So that's what Stella is all about. So how I've got these lined up is this one goes on the bottom. And a couple people in class last night mixed them up. They made the mossy one out of this one and the it's pear pizzazz out of the other one, and it still looked beautiful. Hey, Gina B. So you had 2 of your back orders arrive today, Gina, and I sent them home with my mom. So I love it. Stampin' Up! Had a lot of things that went on back order recently because of the whole pandemic, and I'll tell you, I've gotten about 10 to 15 back order packages in my mailbox in the last like 8 days, 5 days. So this is all I did for glue on the back. I just worked around in a circle and I put a little bit of liquid glue on. Now, if you're not a fan of the liquid glue, you can definitely use whatever glue you like. I always tell people to pick their glue, their poison, like whatever glue they want. So, what is the name of the pen in the book? Mary, are you referring to this pen right here, the Stella pen? It's called Wink of Stella Brush. And I bet if Diana is watching or Elaine is watching or if somebody is out there, Rhonda, you girls, if anybody's out there, you could let Mary know what page number the Stella is on. I think that's what your question is about the Stella pen. So on this wreath then, yep, you're very welcome, Gina. Then this one, I did the exact same thing. What I did is a little bit, and you see I'm not squeezing very hard, and all I'm doing is, you can see there's barely any on there. This glue is a tacky glue with a craft glue, and you don't need a lot of it, and it goes a long way. So we're just going to set that right over the top of that, and so did you see I didn't glue any of the leaves down? I like to glue as little as possible. Hi, Karen. So this allows it to look like these leaves can be 3D a little bit. Okay. So there's a little label here, and I already have mine stamped. So, okay. So Mary, I bet somebody here who's watching will tell us what page number it's on so you know exactly where to go. So in here, I have Itty Bitty Christmas is a stamp set that I pulled in. If you girls don't have this set and are looking for very versatile Christmas sayings, we're using Celebrate the Season tonight and Season's Greetings. And then the other thing that I pulled in is, this is the die set from Tasteful Labels Dies. And there's some beautiful labels in here, and that's where this one came from. So, oh, Diane, you rock star you. Page 159, thank you. So that's the little die that I used for the label. So that will go down here. And now our partridge and our pears. Let's see here. Oh, there's my pear. I was missing one of them. Okay. This is how I do the pears, girls, and the partridges. So I think if you've been watching me for a while, you've noticed that I like to do 2 types of adhesive on some objects sometimes, or some different papers. So what I'm doing is I'm prepping all of my pears and my partridge by putting a dimensional on the top, and then I'm gonna glue the bottom. Okay, so again, if you want to, you could Stella your partridge, or you could Stella your pears. But what I'm doing is a mini glue dimensional on the top, and then we've got some liquid glue on the bottom. So you want to find the perfect spot for your partridge to hang out. And I look for a leaf that's kind of able for it to tuck behind, and so it makes it look like it's nestled in the wreath. So, and that helps by not, when you don't glue the leaves down. So do you see what I did is I tucked it behind this leaf, and I don't know, our partridges, there's boys and girls. So I'm going to say for the first time I said it was a she. So she's a she. She's got her bottom side tucked here flat, and her head is popped out here. Love it, right? Okay, so she is set. And now we're going to give her some pears to stare at, because she might be hungry for pears in a little bit. Oh, Mary. Diane says it's page 147. We were close, right? So the same thing happens with the pears. I like to make them look like they were tucking behind some of the leaves. And you can put these wherever you want. No rhyme or reason. But I did do 3 because things are better in odd numbers, like floral arrangements. We've had this conversation a lot. So you see how I did that? I tucked it so that it's resting in the tree. And by putting the flat on the bottom and giving them a little dimensional at the top, that just, I don't know, I like the look that gives to the card. I know it's really hard to see that on the camera, that dimension, but like she's popped up here, but then she's grounded underneath here. Hi, Bonnie Brown. Okay, so everybody has in their kits, they have this little bow. What I highly recommend doing is using a glue dot, a mini one, and what you'll do is tuck it right where the X overlaps, and you're going to put your bow right into your glue dot. Now again, I can't do anything about these fraying tails. That is just how they're gonna go. There's not much I can do about it. So that gold thread just wants to pull apart really, really like loose like that. All right, then we have our last little strip here. So for those at home, I cut out your banner strip here. The one thing is that there's always a front and a back to a die cut. So the front is the more rolled smooth side, and the back side is the rougher side. So if I were you, I would practice on a piece of paper, and then I would practice on the back, and then by the third time you should have it, because the third time is the charm. And by the third time you should be able to get your little baby sentiment in there. Okay, so far so good. And then the final touches for this card are the bling. All right, where do I have my bling, girls? I brought it out here. Let's see. Not here, not here. Oh, right here. Okay, right in front of my face, of course. So we've got the red diamond. So this is a brand new pack. So I'm going to show you how I open up my packs of rhinestones. So what I do, I hate this flappy thing here. I like trying to get that in and out all the time. So what I do is I already have it opened. I take my scissors and I just slice that open like that. And I surprised myself. I actually have it open. So there's our red. So these red rhinestones are in the annual catalog. And what I do is, this is a Gina Bulow trick. You take your scissors and you pick them up with a scissors. So that helps too. You just kind of gently grab them on each side and tug them off. Now, I put 9 of them in each of your kits, okay? So odd numbers again. And so you can pick randomly where you want them. I'm trying to find, so they're not all in a straight line is my goal. So this one's gonna go up there. So that's 4. So we're gonna spread out this one over here, 5. We're gonna do 1 over here, 1 over, oh, I got sticky. Where did that go? The bottom of the sticky came off. Let's get that back on there. And I got it, boom. Okay, there's that one. And last but not least, where should we put this one? I'm gonna go right there. Okay, there we go. So I think that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Math is hard tonight, like Kelly Atchison would say. Math is hard. Oh, we're gonna put it right. Oh my gosh, girls, right there. Sometimes placing the rhinestones can be the hardest thing to do on a card, right? Well, there you go. How do you like it? I have to tell you, this card is an original. I cannot show you a card that I cased. I mean, there's cards in the catalog that show the wreath, but I don't remember a partridge and a pear wreath. So I am very ecstatic with myself for this card. But yes, this packaging, cut that open, and then when you want to go to use it, this just slides in and out like that, and then you're good. So yay, Diane likes it. Really pretty card. I love it. Oh, this card just makes me happy, girls. All right, so there we go. One down. That wasn't so bad, right? Little bits of tips and tricks on how to assemble it. So that was good, especially for those at home watching. It's always good to know how I put things together. So there, one done. Yay. Okay, girls, let's go for the cardinal next. Look at me and my 3 scissors. Look at the, you girls probably laugh at me. There they all are. All right, we have a cardinal. This cardinal comes from a set. So those at home that are doing this, it's called Toil Christmas. This is the cardinal. It was in the holiday catalog. Oh, you girls are liking that last card. I see all the hearts coming through now. Yay. So this cardinal and the branch are what we're using out of here along with the sentiment. It's called Toil Christmas, and there is a die set that goes with this. And the dies look like there's a branch, a bird, and then this little leafy tree thing. And this last branch right here, this one comes from, where are you? Who wants to guess? This one comes from Birds and More Dies. So we did a fun fold class not too long ago, and I featured some of these dies in here. So I pulled in this branch here. So that's the die set. So everybody at home that has these cards, I did a couple things again. I gave you a piece of white. So if you're wondering what that piece of white is for, it's for the branch and your bird to stamp. Okay, because again, I can't do stamping for you per Stampin' Up! Rules. So I wish I could. I would love to do it for you. But I did die cut out your branch here and your gold piece. And then you should have your base. So let's grab the kit here. Yes, Sarah, you don't like those flappy things either. I hate them. So on this one, this card base is 4 1/4, and it's actually 8 inches this way. And our score line is at 5.5. So it makes it our original A2 card size. So for those of you at home, make sure you grab your bone folder and burnish your edges. And as you're burnishing them, it's a good idea to make sure that they are straight as you fold them. So if I have my little score a little off on there, then you want to make sure you fold them straight. So that's your base. Our inside is your traditional 4 by 5 1/4. I use a scrap, and this stamp is really hard. For those of you in class that came last night, it was super hard to stamp this. It says, "May the season be filled with beautiful moments and happy memories for you and those you hold most dear." And when you stamp it, it goes crooked. It goes up. So it took me about 6 tries before I finally fell out. Why did I get an unhappy face, girls? Somebody gave me a frumpy face. Why? I don't know what I did. So make sure when you stamp this, put it down so that it stamps straight for you. So what I used on this is Memento. So do not glue this in yet. It's important. There's some steps to follow. Hi, Jean from Arizona. Yay. Julie's watching. Thanks for joining, Julie. All right, so we want to do some orders to putting this together. So I've already stamped and I've die cut out my bird, and this one also has a little bit that needs to get popped out. I saved some of the coloring to do with you because I wanted to show you girls how to color the cardinal to make it look like that. Doesn't that look like it just pops? It's just elegant. So the branch here, when you girls are at home, stella your branches. I've already got that stellaed. You should have a little gold leaf in your kit, and then you should have this piece of, it's cherry cobbler. It's 4 by something, I can't remember, and in the haste of my water in my basement earlier, I didn't grab all my cards. But for those of you who are taking the class with me, you got the PDF tutorial and you have the measurements. So this piece right here, what you can do is put a little bit of adhesive or liquid glue, your tape runner, and you're going to glue this onto the front left panel here, just like that. All right, then we have a piece of garden green. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Got to get some gold, girls. The gold is 2.5 by 2.5, and you are allowed to go ahead and glue this. I want to catch you girls, because to do this pocket card, you got to remember to not glue it in a certain spot. So we're going in order here. So this will go right on top of the garden green, and just center it as best you can. And then what we're going to do is prep this top layer with a couple dimensionals. Now, these are the big dimensionals, and you might have the small ones. So this is a little bit lower over here than it is taller. There's a little less room here than there is here. So I'm going to prep by putting a dimensional there, and I'm actually going to do 6 just for good measure. Hi, Pamela. Just so you know, some of you that are new to watching or making cards, if there's no rhyme or reason really to putting on dimensionals. Some people put a lot of dimensionals on. Some people are more frugal with your dimensionals. It's really a matter of personal preference. And in this case, I wouldn't generally put 6. I'd maybe put 4, but this is what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I do not put any adhesive right here. If you do, it's going to pop the card and it's going to squish it so it can't open. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it as far to the margin on this side as I can without going over, like on The Price is Right. You just go to as far as you can without going over. And then on the left side, I am putting these 3. So when I adhere this to the card front, I will know that I'm definitely not over the edge right there. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so this is what I did for everybody in class. This was a square. It's a 3 by 3 square, if I remember correctly. It was 3 by 3. And then all I did was, in my paper trimmers, is I just cut it diagonally. And both of these are in the subtle embossing folder. Let's see if you can see. Let's get the gold out. If you can see it, my lighting might not show it so well. But that embossing folder is an all-time favorite of mine. It looks like this. It has the subtle linen look to it. If you run it through one way, and then you turn your paper and run it through this way, it looks like a really cool pattern as well. So you should try that at home. So that one is a new Stampin' Up! Dynamic folder. And when you have one of their dynamic folders with the old Big Shot, you have to pull in the blue plate like that. Okay? So I've already got mine embossed. So the reason I wanted you to wait to glue this is because we have to, I'm trying to remember really hard not to glue here. So what you're going to do to make this a pocket card, watch me glue it. Nope, not going to do it. We're going to put glue here and a little there. Do not glue right there. Now the trick is to get this lined up on the corner right here so that it doesn't go over. I gotta get my head in here so I can see. All right, so right about there, and now I'm just gonna make sure I'm flush on both sides. So the reason we did it like that is so that this can tuck in like that. Okay, so we put glue just on the top and the right, and now with this little Goldie, this was a 1.5 inch square, and I just cut it in diagonal for everybody so that you got a half of a square. Little bit of glue. I can tell I got a new glue bottle here, and the glue is really cooperating tonight. This little corner goes right here, just like that. Oop, if you get a little glue, just wipe it off. Okay, set that there. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing tonight? So now that we have that done, we've got this is open. You can see I can get my fingernail under there. Now we can go ahead and glue the back and then put that on the inside of the card. So I used up some scratch paper there. So the thing when you girls stamp your card at home, make sure you stamp your sentiment to the left. If you stamp it right in the middle, you're going to have issues with your red triangle or your cherry cobbler triangle. So what I did when I stamped mine over here is I kind of nestled and set the cherry cobbler triangle here so that I knew where to stamp it. So this card is shaping up really nicely. What we have to do is finish the front now. So, oh, here they are. It was like, where are my bird and my branch? Do you girls, does that happen to you at home? They're right in front of your nose. So These are all the colors I use. So we got Cherry Cobbler Combo. We have here the Poppy Parade, but I only use the dark Poppy Parade. Hi, Jody. We've got Granny Apple Green Combo. And then I pulled in the bronze, and I pulled in the dark Mango Melody. So bronze comes now as a pack with ivory. And then all the combo blends, all the blends now come as combos. They don't come individually. So we're going to do the first thing easy here. We're going to do the beak. So the beak is in the dark Mango Melody. So if you would have an orangey kind of color too, that would be very fine as well. So that was really easy. When you have small areas, I generally just use either the light or the dark. Like in this case, I used the bronze for the whole branch. I did not do any shading whatsoever. And then for the berries here, what I did is I used the light Cherry Cobbler to color in the berries. What's left on the branch are the greeneries. So the reason that blends are so awesome is it gives you shading, really cool. So what I generally do with leaves is I take the lighter of the two and I follow the veins with them. So right now I'm just going down the middle of the leaves so that, let's see here, you can see I just colored in the middle. Then what I do is take the lighter. Now there's a thick tip and a thin tip. When I'm working in such a small area like this, I like to use the thin tip. And what I do is I go over the entire thing. So I generally, when you watch me coloring with blends, I go darker to lighter. Some people go lighter to darker. It's all a matter of personal preference, and you figure it out as you start to use them. But I like to go dark first, because then I take the light and I go over the top of the dark, and that helps to blend it. Excuse me. So when I'm done with this here, I'm going to pull this up so you can see it nice and close. And it might be hard to see it in the camera, but in person, you can see that there's more darkness in the center and then lightness. It's light. I make up my own words, girls. It's lighter on the edges. So that's how I'm going to leave the leaf. Next, our bird is the word. So this is going to take a little bit, girls. So if you don't like to watch coloring, maybe find something to do for about a minute. So I'm taking the dark Cherry Cobbler, and you can see the darker areas. That's what I'm going to concentrate on. I'm very, very particular about the blends. The tips, so blends for a combo pair is $9. So they're at a price point where if you need to replace them, it's not the end of the world. But I just want to advise, when you have your own blends at home, just be careful with them, treat them nicely, respect them, don't abuse them, and they will be very, very good to you. And so one of the things is you have to allow the ink to actually soak into the paper. I see so many people color really fast with them, and you're not giving the marker time to dry, to soak into the paper. So, and what you can see here, I don't have any rhyme or reason except for I'm covering up a lot of this darker shaded area here. I'm trying not to go outside of the lines. That's always a goal of mine. If you do go outside of the lines, they have something called a color lifter. It doesn't make it permanently disappear, but it lightens it up. I am going over the black area, and I'm going to try to avoid his eye because I don't want to give him a case of the red eye. And I'm going to hit his top here a little. Okay, so this is what I have so far with the dark Cherry Cobbler. It doesn't look so hot, right? It's not the greatest, but next thing we're going to do is pull in the light Cherry Cobbler. Now this is where I go to town more on it. So I generally will hit every area of this bird, including the dark area. And again, remember to give the marker time to dry. I keep saying that, to soak into the paper. So I'm hitting all this area here. One of the things about blends is I like to go in circles too as I color. Nice slow circles. That helps it look like you get rid of all of the lines. I am going to save a little. If you notice here on this card, his breast right here is a little bit lighter. I'm going to save one little area here for the poppy color. So I'm not going to do that whole area right there. I'm going to actually leave that and continue up his back here. And if you don't go over the dark area, you get it looking like that. And it doesn't look bad, but you want it to look good. And so what you do with blends is you just go over it again. And you see I went over it probably 2 times. And what it does is it blends it together so nicely. Girls, if you're not good at coloring, these blends make it really easy for you to color. It really does. What I don't like about regular water-based markers is they leave streaks when you're coloring. With the blends here, they don't leave streaks. They blend really nicely. Hi, Carol, and thanks for joining tonight. So this is going to look really crazy for you, but watch this. This is the dark poppy. So you see what I did is I put the dark poppy in that white area that I had left. I'm going to do it one more time here. And then though what I'm gonna go back and do is, this is the light cherry. I'm just gonna gently go right over the top of that and give it a little bit of darkness. It kind of like tones that poppy down. You don't want the poppy to pop too much, right? So there's how it looks. Now, again, if you're doing this at home and you think, wow, that's still too much poppiness going on, you can go right back over the top and blend it a little bit more, like that. Okay, that's how we got bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word going. So the cardinal is so striking. He's a hottie, as Kathy would say. He's a hottie. So that is how I colored this beautiful bird. So now what we have to do is finish assembling the card. And there's a little trick to this. A lot of people said, how do you put this down and how do you put this down? Well, here's my trick for this. I really liked thanks for sharing, Kathy. I really like things to be intertwined and just natural looking. So, oh, Patty, you don't have the cherry cobbler. Yes, you could use, you have to be careful, Patty, though. When you're coloring this bird, I would not suggest using half water-based markers and half blends. You either got to color the whole bird with a blend or water-based. I guess that's what is in my head. Like if you want to color the beak with a blend that you have, that's fine, but you're not going to get, if you don't have cherry cobbler blends, don't use a cherry cobbler Stampin' Write marker with the poppy. Because I think you have the poppy. You could use poppy, but your bird would look really poppy-ish. so you could use your colored pencils though, Kathy, Patty. I think you have those as well. So thanks for sharing, Jean. Okay, yeah, I know, Kathy, right? To put in a little poppy in that just made it pop. Okay, our branch here. This is what I wanted to do. I love things to look intertwined and woven. So what I did is I wove this green branch through here, and then I'm going to take this one and weave it through here and this up here. So what I'm doing is intertwining the branches together like that. So they kind of lock together when you weave them through. Then you have to get these in a spot where it's not overlapping the edge here. Oh yeah, no problem, Faye. I thought it would be really wise to color this in front of you. Another trick about this too, I often have heard that the more that you see on the back, the better your coloring is. So the messier it looks on the back, the prettier it looks on the front. Hi, Chris. So here's what we've got for the branch now. You also have to pay attention. Sometimes when you die cut, you get these little hairs that hang on the edge of your dies. I like to scrape them off. So once you figure out where you want your branch to go, it's going to be something like that. I didn't know what to do for gluing it. So what I chose to do is use a few of these mini glue dots. So where is it on that thumb? All I did was put one there. And then I'm going to grab a couple more here, and I don't like to glue things down all the way. I like to have things floating in the wind, as I like to say. So these are loose, and then I'm going to put one more, though, back here. Thanks for sharing, Hillary. I appreciate that so much. Then this one we're going to put right here. Now, the reason I didn't use liquid glue in this case, because you girls all know I'm a liquid glue junkie. Gold, when you glue on gold foil or silver foil, it tends to smear around, and I was afraid it was going to smear around. So I thought with glue dots, it actually just makes it stick instantly, and then I didn't have to worry about getting tape runner anywhere. I randomly put them where I wanted them. I know I didn't forget about that, but that's last. Well, the gems are last. So the bird. I used dimensionals to put my bird on. You have to be careful with the bird too. You don't want to put dimensionals at the top or near its tail. So I'm going to put one right around the back of its head. And then we're going to do one by his breast here and by his bottom there. And I think that's good. So I've got 3 dimensionals back here. I'm happy with that. And then I think if you girls want to guess ahead what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue his feet flat so that his feet they're grounded. One thing that I love about when you make animals and things, they just need to be grounded. So I'm going to try to find a good spot where my bird is going to nestle his feet on the branch like that. The other thing when I put this card together is I wanted the peak of his head to come out near the green here, just for flow. And I have a thing with lines and how things flow. so on this one, you can see here, they kind of met right up the peak there. So that's where I kind of placed my bird. And I've got his feet flat. Now you've got this little piece of gold. Don't forget about that. All I did to get this on my card was to put a little bit of liquid glue on the back side. I think I got a little on the front, but we're going to see here. If you get a little on the front, that's okay. What happens is this is going to get tucked. It's tucked right behind there. So because you didn't put glue all over there, there wasn't any glue in this spot behind the branch. So I was able to take it like a toothpick and wedge it right underneath the branch. And so now I've got this awesome little gold leaf thing coming out there to add a little bit of extra decoration. Last but not least, our beautiful gold faceted gems. Thank you to Barb. I was already ready to repay her the gems I borrowed from her. Diane, speaking of which, Diane got, I don't know when you're going to get yours, Diane, but I borrowed Diane's too. But I have a big gold gem on this bottom corner. So I already owe Barb. I was going to pay her back, and then I already took from her before I even gave them back to her. So I have a great team that helps me out when I run short on supplies. So those are the gold faceted gems that come in the ornate suite. So yay. All right, girls. We got 2 done. Isn't it pretty? So I colored the bird pretty much the same so they look the same. But just know that yours are going to be different, and that's okay. Everybody's cards might be just a little bit different, and they will in case you don't have this cardinal. So, all right. Gorgeous card. Yay, I'm happy you like it, Faye. Thank you so much. I love it. All right, on to our next card. Okay, this one. This bad boy is next. So, we have here, I'm Seeing Love. Yay, thanks, girls. This one features, what do we feature here? Peaceful Boughs is the stamp set, and there are some awesome dies here. So the dies, oh my gosh, girls, I don't know if you don't have this, you might want to add it to your wish list. This is the beautiful branch. There's another secondary branch. There's 2 sets of pine cones. One is the solid, and then there's the detail, and then last but not least in here that I used is this awesome label cutting out die. So lots of dies. I used all of them except for these 2 when making this card. And I used a lot of this. Well, I actually didn't use a lot of the stamps. I only used the sayings and then this big one here. I'm glad you like it, Julie and Karen. Thank you. Dar likes it. Oh, Dar's on. Yay. Kathy's watching yet. So good. You girls are loving the cardinal. All right. So this is our Peaceful Boughs card. And I have some tricks on this one too. So that's that. So let's get the card kit here and see what we got going on. I love Mossy Meadow, girls. I can't lie. It's one of my favorite greens. It's your this card is a traditional base. You're 8.5 by 5.5, and then it is scored at 4 1/4 for you already. So just line up your corners and burnish your edges. All right. So then I mixed this with the Cherry Cobbler. The Cherry Cobbler is a little bit smaller than a traditional mat. I would have to say, if I had to guess, it's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 here. Now you can see right here. There's a little bit of embossing going on. And for those at home that got the kits, I did that for you. Yay. If you're wondering where that came from, embossing folders are, hi Amy, thanks for joining. Embossing folders are at the way end here. And there's one here called Greenery. And this Greenery is different. They're little baby ones. So what I mean by baby is that it's small. It's like this. And I really wanted to use this foliage look with this card because there's berries in here and you've got the ferns, and I just pictured that coming up from the bottom. But I didn't know what to do because if I had that at the bottom, then that would be at the top. And I guess that could have been okay. But girls, I have to admit, I cut it in half. I took my kitchen shears and I just went, and it get cut in half really easily, actually, because it was such a thin one. So I just ordered another set of dies, and now I can use these independently. I can use one here. I could, they both are really similar. But what I did is I took my packaging tape and I taped it, so now I can use both of them separately. If I wanted, I could do a card that has this at the bottom like that. So just don't be afraid to wreck your stuff. Sometimes that's a good thing, right? It was very intentional, and that's okay. So that's what I did for you girls. In case you're wondering how I made that happen, what I did is I used this one, and I used my packaging tape, and I put that right on the side here, and then I didn't have it up there. Now, the one thing that you will have is a little line here, and I don't even think you can even catch it in the camera, but there is a line here from where the embossing folder actually was. And that's okay. It's going to get covered up. So that's what I did. I embossed that, and I cut my embossing folder in half just to make that happen. And now they're on back order. So now I have to wait till July 15th or 30th to get this one. So I am actually gluing this down. Sometimes I get glue happy too, but I looked back at the card and it is okay to put this down. So this is our Cherry Cobbler mat. It's just going right on the card, base like that. And our inside, just so you know, is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's your traditional mat. So I have on here some sentiments. The sentiments I use come from the stamp set, the Peaceful Boughs. It's "May the spirit of peace gently fill your heart and home in this most wonderful time of year." So that's stamped in Cherry Cobbler. And then how I did your boughs at the top, how I did mine, I should say, I did mine at the top here, is I throw the stamps all around. There's something called first and second strength. For those that don't know, what you do is you ink it up and you stamp the first one at first strength, and then you just go right next to it and stamp at second strength. And that's how I got the two-tone foliage going on. So it looks like one's closer to you and one's behind it, which is a super cool look to it. So this bow comes in that stamp set, and then the saying comes in that stamp set, and that's stamped in Cherry Cobbler. So if you have the Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler, those are two good colors to have for this card. I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue and put that on the inside already. And okay, so that's the nice thing about liquid glue is you can wiggle around till you get it exactly where you want it. So another piece of the wood DSP, yay. Do you want to guess where that comes from? Lo and behold, it's In Good Taste, and it's this one right here. So that one I used out of that same paper pack. And we have a piece of vanilla. So everybody got a piece of vanilla that you could stamp your sentiment on, and I die cut out this sentiment, or I didn't die cut the sentiment, I die cut the label. So you could stamp whatever Christmas sentiment you want on here. I stamped it in the Cherry Cobbler, and this die has a really cool notching out of there. And after I made this card, I thought, ooh, it would be super cool to notch that out so it matched it. So for those of you at home that want to do this, you can do it. It looks cool. You could also leave it. It looks cool. But it's a 1/2-inch circle punch. And what you do is you just nip the corners of the Designer Series paper. So it's the pink one on the back. and you're just nipping these corners. So if you don't have a 1/2 inch, you could do a 3/4, you could do any size punch, but they no longer sell this, but a 1/2 inch circle punch is a staple, girls. You need to have one. So by notching that, it gives it that same look, and it continues it through. And what this is, I've glued this label on here, and it's flat. So go ahead and put a little liquid glue, and I have it down more south than north. It's definitely not centered, and I did that because the pine boughs cover up a lot of that at the top. And so that's that. I did pop up the Designer Series paper mat, and in this case I think I'm going to use 5 dimensional. See, you could have used 6 if you wanted to. That's quite all right. And then that is going to get centered on the front here, top to bottom, left to right. Then I've already, so everybody who got the kits has their branches cut. Again, you have to, hi Jody, you have to take your pokey tool or a scissors and definitely poke out any of these little pieces in the middle that need it. Like here too, I have one that just ribbon or paper. So in this case, I'm gonna get this guy out of there, and then this is what's gonna go over here. So I have Stella this, so you can see there's a little bit of glitter on there, but I did not Stella this one. So grab your Stella pens, girls, and get Stella happy, and definitely Stella these. Now, if you know you're going to be giving this to a guy, you may not want to Stella so much. I don't know if guys really appreciate this kind of glitter. Men usually appreciate something called like a manly man glitter, and I have learned that in the last month or so that man glitter is sawdust. So if you want to get a man something nice and that will be manly for him, get him sawdust. I learned that with Tyler during this project, that men don't mind sawdust all over things, but they don't want glitter all over things. I don't want sawdust all over things. I don't mind glitter. Isn't that funny how we all operate different? So for our branches, now that you've got these 2 done, you can go ahead. Hey, I hope you're doing well, Jody. You can go ahead and glue. I am putting a little bit of glue right down the main branch here, and see, just a little there. Oh man, flipped it upside down. That's okay. I have my adhesive eraser and we can get rid of that there. That isn't a problem. So I'm just putting a little bit. So I'm not going, it's too much to try to put glue over all of that. That would be too much of a mess, and I don't have time to put glue all over everything. So what I am trying to do is make sure my branch hits the top there with the green, so it looks like it's starting at the top of the card, and I'm putting it at a diagonal, and it's coming right down across the top of my sentiment. It is Pear Pizzazz, Barbara. Good call. So Mossy Meadow Pear Pizzazz. You got it, girl. And so the same thing's going to happen with this. I am just going to put a little bit of liquid glue. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to put that near the top here. So how do I have it? Like, you know, I'm trying to make it look like my other card here, and we're just going to go like that. We're going to go for it. Okay, so that's, don't worry if you get a little glue up there, because you're going to be putting the pine boughs up there. Now, if you notice, I dropped my pine bough earlier and I got some liquid glue. You can't see it, but it's there. Adhesive erasers are $3 on Amazon, girls. Get yourself one. It is going to save you more than you think you will ever know, and it's the best investment for $3. So there you go. I got my adhesive off of there. Next, this is amazing thing. And I don't know if I brought it over here, but I'm going to show you, girls. So there are 2 dies in here. Hi, Ruth. You have soft suede, and you in your kits you have a little pine cone and a big pine cone. Then there is something new in the catalog, and I think I may have failed to bring it over here. It's on my table in the living room, but there, let's go to the adhesive page here. There is something here called adhesive sheets. Let me pull this up here. It's shown here. It's on page 162 in the catalog. It's called adhesive sheets. It is meant for die cuts that are intricate. So easily adhere shapes you cut with a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And what happens is you get 12 sheets, and they're 6 by 12. And what you do is you cut yourself a section that you need, and you put it on the back of your foil piece or whatever it is that you want to die cut. So right here, you can see there's a slight edge. Right there, you can see it's a two-tone. You got white backing of the paper, and then I have the adhesive sheet on here. So everybody who got kits from me, I put adhesive on the back of your pine cones. So when you get your pine cones, they are going to be a hot mess of having to pick these little pieces out like this. But just know, I didn't prep these. I had these done before I had the adhesive sheets. Just know that all you have to do is take a nail or take a pokey tool, and you're going to peel off, I'm pretending to do it, you're going to peel off this waxy paper off the back, and it's going to make this into a sticker. So for those of you that are doing the cards with me, does that make sense? You have that. Hi, Katie. You're going to have to make sure you poke out the rest of these pieces, but a lot of those pieces will come out if you just peel that waxy paper off. So both your pine cones, I did that for. So I made them into stickers for you so that you could see what that adhesive sheet is all about. Okay, so once you have all of those picked out, what you're going to do is you shouldn't have to add any more adhesive to the back of your pine cones. All you have to do, Janet's watching, yay! All you have to do is peel off that, you've made yourself a sticker, then you line it up on here and it sticks. You're not going to have to do what I am doing right now. The struggle is real. What I do, if you don't have the adhesive sheets, this is really how I do this. I have no rhyme or reason, and I don't know where I'm putting glue, but I don't need it all over the place, and I'm hoping that it doesn't get all over my stuff. So I have a glue on here, not a lot of it. The main trick is to get it lined up exactly right the first time, and hope that you don't have too much glue all over the place. So those sticker sheets, those multi-purpose adhesive sheets are the bomb. I'll tell you that. They are amazing. So I am noticing I've got this liquid glue that's kind of like, it's seeped out a little, but it will dry clear. So I'm not so worried about it. Yeah, the adhesive sheets are amazing. So the next card that we used, that we're making to the snow globe, I did that for you girls as well. I put the adhesive sheets on the back of the snow globe stand. So, all right, so we're gonna do this one really quick. Get this on here. We're almost done with this card. So we've got our pine cones set. Now, so this is the brass foil. They got rid of the copper, so I used the brass foil, which really has when it's next to certain things, it looks gold, and when it's next to other things, it looks brown. So that is the brass foil sheet. I'm giving that a second to dry. The other thing that I did is I made myself a little baby double bow, and this is the ribbon trim. What is this called? Braided linen trim. I love it. It's just a very natural, neutral, warm color that you can add. So I made myself a double bow, and everybody who got the kits from me has your bow made. So that is going to be at the top. So I did pop up my pine cones all the way. So I am prepping them by putting one on the top and one at the bottom, kind of like that. And then this last one, pick these little guys off, and I offset these. So the one was going at an angle to the left, and that the other one is going at an angle to the right, like that. And I want him over. I didn't squish it down, so then I can move it a little yet. So we're gonna go just like that. Okay, now I get glue all over. Glue dot, that's what we're gonna use for putting on the little bit of the bow. So I'm taking one glue dot, putting it near the top of the pine cones, and then I'm gonna stick my bow right into it. Now, I am not a fan, I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of wonky tails like that. I like my tails to be nice and in the right spots. So I'm taking another glue dot, and I'm gonna put it right where I want my tail to come down. And I'm gonna get my tail to come down exactly where I want it to go. Now that one too, I'm not a fan of where that one ended up. Girls, if you're not as picky as me, you'll let your tails go all over the place. But I like mine to look like they're trailing down the bow. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but I like them to be angled down like that. And then I like to snip the ends so that they look really nice and even. So just like that, right? So that looks a little bit cleaner to me. And then lastly on this card is pearls, girls. Now, I will have to, oh, let's see if I have any in here. We went through a lot of pearls last night, and I don't know if I have, oops, I don't. So everybody got 3 pearls in their card kit. So I have 1 left here. So for Entertain Me Girls, I'm just going to put 1 on for now. But I'll go back and I got to put on, I didn't want to use the big ones. I think the big ones would look overwhelming. So, oh, and he's going to cover up that one, but that's okay. So I have more pearls upstairs in my craft room. So I'm going to add a pearl here, I'm going to add a pearl there, and I'm going to put a pearl right there. So that would finish this card off and make it complete. And so now we have 3 done. How do you like that one? You girls loving on that one? This one is just your true essence of Christmas to me, with the reds and the greens and the pine cones. I just love this card. So I think I cased a card that I had made many years ago with a different pine cone set. So yay. Oh, I keep saying I have enough. Shar, you don't have this? Oh man. Now, this is something to think about. You may get by without having the dies. I mean, excuse me, the stamps, but the dies are really what make this one awesome. Like, the stamps are okay. Like, but if you have so many Christmas stamps that are Pine Bow related, get the dies, because the dies will take you far places with this one. So, all right, girls, we got that one done. And last but certainly not least, our polar bear friends. Yay, this card is just so soft, and I know it's July, and the last thing that we want to do is think about snow. Oh, but we're going to make one. Anyway, so Kathy asked, how long are the Christmas dies available? So Kathy, the Christmas dies, so that's called the Peaceful Boughs. So if you go to Peaceful Boughs, they're on page 57. So you know here, they're on their, 57. So when I did these Christmas cards, I tried to pick sets from the annual catalog. So Peaceful Boughs is right here. We're doing the Snow Globe one. And then I think we did the Toil Christmas is down here in the corner. I know you can only see part of it. And then the Arrange a Wreath. And that's in the annual catalog. And when you look at the back of the annual catalog, it says through May 3rd of 2021. So you have until May 3rd, unless towards the end of the catalog period stuff sells out. So you don't want to wait till April. If you like it, get it sooner than April is my only thing. All of a sudden, my finger was getting poked by none other than a confetti star. Oh my God, girls. Okay, wait, hold up, girls. That's a good point, Angela. So this card there's 12 people or 11 people that have these kits. I know, Kathy, you don't have yours, but be very, very careful pulling these out. So this is not the envelope that you have, but girls, when you pull your card out of your envelope at home, go very, very, very slowly and open it up very, very carefully. I have all your bits and parts and all of your sequins loose in your card. So when you open it up, don't go whoop, and then they be all over the place, okay? So that's a good point, Angela. You had a confetti star that was poking you, and that's because for those of you at home, I gave you some confettis to put in your shaker card here. Just be very careful that they don't land on the floor or have the cat eat them, or for them to get like all over your carpet. So Shar just asked, how do the cones look without the stamp first? I didn't stamp these. The only stamping I did on this card was the season's greetings, and I stamped in here the sentiment and then the bow here. This is the detailed, let me see where they are here. The dies are, there's 4 dies basically. There's an outline for each, and then there's the detail for each. And honestly, I did not stamp those. Let's look here though. You were asking about, these are different. So if you stamp these, you would not use this detail. If you stamp these, you would just use the frame here to die cut them out. And I would definitely stamp them in espresso or soft suede, and they would be super pretty. But if you don't care about the stamps, or if you have plenty of your own stamps at home, you can definitely make a card like this with just the dies. And it turns out like that. Because that's the detail for the pine cone. Super, super cool. Good question. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, all right, girls, on to the last one. You girls have to shout out some names for our baby and our mama polar bears. I'm curious what you would name them. But the bow stamp inside. Oh, just get Char, just get both. Yes. So you were asking about the inside here. That bow is really cool. I mean, it is pretty. I can't lie. I've made some cards with these bows, and you can stamp them different colors of greens and first and second strength, and it's good. It's pretty. That's Mossy Meadow first and second strength, and it's really pretty. So just get them both. You're right. Just get them both. I would if I were you. That's a set that I would want for both. Now this one, I cannot lie. I only got the dies, girls. I can't have everything, right? So what did I just say that page was? 62, 60, 47, 40. Oh, here. So I cannot lie. I wanted to do a card with the snow globe. This is the snow globe stamp set. I didn't get it. If you got it, great. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. No problem if you got it. But I can't get everything all of the time. So in this case, I did not buy the stamp set. I bought the dies. I absolutely love the dies. And these dies, I gotta show them to you, because you're gonna be like, wow. The dies are cool in and of themselves. You get with the dies, you get this little halfy quasi circle thing, because the bottom's cut off. You get this set of trees. You get the detailed die. You get the base for it. You get mama bear, and you get baby bear. Super cool. In addition, there's a deer, a church, a wood scene. This one matches the stamp set, and then a building. So I just got the dies. And yes, you're right, Barbara. It will be one of her favorites after she gets it. I can't lie. It's a very traditional classic Christmas set for the Pine Peaceful Boughs. Now this one, I just got the dies. You can make this card for sure with just the dies, and you can make a lot of beautiful cards with just these dies. Now there is another stamp set though that Stampin' Up! Came out with to go with this. It's called Zoo something, Zoo Globe on page 54. If you don't get the Christmas set, but you like this, check this out. There's something called Zoo Globe, and they've got a little koala bear, a little kangaroo, an elephant, a giraffe, birdies, and you can make a little zoo globe with the animals and make it like summery spring themed and kid themed. Super cool. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the Zoo Globe to go with these dies and not the other stamp set, right? So on this one, we've got the thick Whisper White as our card base. Whenever I do a card where the base is white or vanilla, I always do it thick. It makes it for a sturdier, stronger card. I would not recommend the thin Whisper White. You can do it, but it's just, people are more impressed, I think, with your cards when they have little structure or meat to them. Is the church, so you can pop the steeple in the front of it. Oh my goodness. You're amazing. Good call, Barbara. See, I didn't even know that. So this is the church. So this steeple, what she just said, goes in the front of this. So it makes it like 3D and pop out. Very, very good idea. Thanks for sharing that so much. I didn't even know that. I went for the polar bears and I went for the trees. My mom loves trees, so I'm naturally drawn to things with trees for her. So thick Whisper White, traditional card base, 8.5 by 5.5. And we have three other mats here. We have a Seaside Spray Girls in color that's going to be around for one more year. And I think that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. I'm pretty sure. And then I have a piece of Whisper White. Now this is your regular Whisper White. I have stamped Celebrate the Season at the bottom. And that came from that Itty Bitty Christmas. I've already prepped this by taking it through the die cutting machine. Girls, did you hear that? The new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is going to be available. If you're a demonstrator, it will be August 1st. If you're a customer, September 1st. So that's exciting. And I just realized I cut this out of here a little bit crooked, but that's okay. It will all look good in the end. So what I did when I ran this through the Big Shot is you can fit. So for those that are going to be coming to class on Saturday, watch this. Hi, Judy. Your trees actually fit right in the middle here. so you do not waste that inner circle part. That gets used. And then what you'll have to do is, so my trees came out of that. And then you have mama bear, baby bear. So girls, while you're watching, give me some names for the baby and the mama. I'm really curious what you come up with. So we've got the two bears, and they get cut out with the dies here. So we've got those cut out. I'm going to try to not lose them. Then the die base. So this is your silver foil, and I've cut that out of this base right here. So that's done. And for those at home that have the kits, I did the same thing with this piece. You're building sometime soon again. Oh yes, you want to see. So the building progress. I am phase 3 is almost done. The electrical inspector comes tomorrow, and plumbing inspector comes tomorrow, and that means that phase 3 is done. And next week, Tuesday, girls, I have the spray foam insulation guy coming at all day, and then insulation, we're putting it in on Tuesday night in the walls. So yay! So I'll have a picture for you, like in the next few days. Yay! So for those at home, pick that wax paper off of there, and you'll have a sticker. And because I made it a sticker, once you pick that off of there, you can just set that right on here, and it'll stick to it. Okay? I was good to you, I hope, because you're going to watch me struggle, put glue on that. All right, so that's that. Now, girls, I made this card because guess what? I knew that the holiday mini catalog was coming out, and I can show you the cover, but I cannot show you the inside. And this catalog goes live. It's live now to demonstrators, but customers can start ordering August 1st. It's so pretty. That's all I can do. Just a little bit. But I have to tell you, the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper came back. It was in last year's holiday catalog, and they reintroduced it along with the snowflake sequins. So Angela, you just said you got poked by one of these, I think. So these snowflake sequins made it back into this holiday catalog. I'm super excited for that, girls. So just a little insider information that's what's coming out. So I did not feel bad about using this in a class. Even though it's not current right now, it will be current soon. So you can purchase this starting next month. So let's get these dies out of the way. This one's a little bit harder to put together. There's a little method to the madness that I have. So let's see what else I want to tell you. That over here. So you have these domes here. These are the snow globe domes. Some people were having issues with static electricity last night, and it was funny. But if you have static electricity, just take a dryer sheet and wipe it out. Or you can take your shirt. I'm just taking my shirt. You can't see it, but I took my shirt and kind of wiped it out. You want to make sure you get any little fuzzies out of there. First, you're going to do, if you don't have a nail like mine, take a pokey tool and poke this. Hi, Mary. What you can do is just peel this paper. How many of you have made cards using these domes? They're so cool. This is the second class that I've made a card with the dome. We did one with the snowman last year. Oh, Kathy, you're not going to give these cards away. I know you're not going to want to. That is so true. But what you should do is make cards, case them, and then give the cards that you case away. So this is what I'm doing. I am just putting the dome over. It actually comes from under, and you're putting the white piece over this, okay? So now, because you took that little bit of wax paper off, that's sticking to here, okay? So everybody at home, I've done all your die cutting for you. All you need to do is stamp a sentiment here and a sentiment on the inside. Okay, so that's good. Now at home, if you're working on this card with me, so this Feels Like Frost is all different for everybody. It comes as a 6x6, and some of you have a pine bough. You can see here, my background here has like a pine bough-ish thing looking coming out, like some sort of frozen tundra foliage. And so you might have a different looking piece, but just know it'll all be okay. What I did is I set this on here, and I hovered this over the top to make sure it's where I want it to be. Once I have it where I want it, I'm just going to kind of lift this up and put a little bit of glue underneath there and make sure it was right where I wanted it. Okay. Me and I made ornaments. Dar. And I made ornaments. Oh, that's right. You bought a bunch of these and you made ornaments out of them. You should share them on the Cards by Christine Facebook page so we can all see what you're talking about. I think people would like to see them. So that's hovered over the top. All right, we have a little bit of Stella that needs to happen here, girls. This is your only time that you're going to be able to do this Stella, because once this card is closed, no more Stella for you. So get your little baby junior bear, glittery. Get big mama bear, all bedazzled up. Get her, get her glittery coat on. And then our trees and our snow mound here are also going to get a little bit of Stella action, like that. My Stella's getting dry. I got to fill her up with some rubbing alcohol, but I think I will make do. So get your Stella going. All right, now you have those done. You are going to figure out where they need to go. You do not want your trees floating in the sky like that. So bring them down a little bit. Okay, so it's gonna go right about there. But what you should have done first is okay, so this is another thing where I popped up the top, but I'm not popping up the bottom. So, oh, I got one stuck there. So I'm going to prep these by having the dimensionals ready to go. And I'm gonna hover this over the top, making sure that that's where I want it. So I'm thinking right about here. And what I'm gonna do is hold that at the bottom, pick my backs off so it doesn't move, set those down, and then now I can take my liquid glue and put a line right where the snow mound is gonna go. All right, did you see how I did that? So basically, I wanted to make sure that my trees are basically right at the base there, so they're not floating through the air. We're going to also pop up our mama bear's back and our baby bear's back. And we're gonna glue their feet flat. Again, remember that one of those last cards, the bird. We put the bird's feet so they were flat. So we're going to just put a little bit of glue on the bottom of her feet. And where's the card over here? So I've got her kind of off to the side here, up a little higher. And now by putting this dimensional on her back, it's really cool. You can kind of see it here. She looks like she's 3D. That's what I did with that. Now, same thing with Baby Bear. We're going to put a couple little dots of glue on the bottom of his feet so they are flat. And we're going to put him so he's like, Mom, are you okay? I need help. You know, she's like being Mama Bear right here. She's kind of like overly protective bear, like watching over. There you go. I haven't seen any names come through, girls. I'm curious what you're thinking these names should be for these little guys. All right. That's done. Now, I have here for what we did for class, I brought in some of the woven threads sequins, and I also have these snow sequins. So I don't think I gave anybody of these in their card kits at home, but if you do have the woven threads, there are some really pretty light blue ones in here. And what I would recommend doing for this is I wanted some so that they never were they were always in the sky. Because when you have a shaker card, they always end up falling down at the bottom. So I thought if you glued a couple to the actual background, that you would get to see them. So if you look in the card here, I've got a couple glued in the sky so that they're always there. So I've got a snowflake one here. And so there's stars in here, there's snowflakes, there's little sequindies. And I'm gonna put this one, so girls, I took my take your pick tool out of my little nook area here. And now the struggle is real and I've got to use the nails. So I'm going to find a sequin here like this. I'm going to put that right there. So for those that are making the card with me at home, Stella and Yogi. Is it Yogi or Yogi? Yogi, Stella. Stella's the mama and Yogi's the baby. That's what we're going with. I like it, Kathy, back. That's awesome. So this is a little bit of prep work. Now, I'm also going to take, so for those at home, you wanted to save all your little, I put a pinch of these sequins in your envelope. I don't know, about that much is what that one just flicked away. So I put about that many sequins in. And for those in class, I actually had this out here too, so they were able to pick if they wanted some of these blue ones. They could put some of the floating blue ones in. I didn't want to give those that got the online kits this because I would have had to pick through all the pink ones, and there's some bright pink ones and bright blue ones. So, okay, enough on that, girls. North and Star, I like that too. Oh, you girls, good ideas. Okay, so now that this is ready, we go back to this guy right here. You need to pick off this. There's a backing on here like that. And then you're going to have to prep it with some more glue. So, girls, you get one shot. When this goes down, you better have it straight. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. So, with shaker cards, you got to be careful putting things down. So, I'm going to make sure that I am lined up on all four sides. And then I'm going to just smush it down good. And hope and pray that I got it straight. There we go. Great names, right, Diane? Those are awesome. So what happened here now is we've enclosed all of our particles. If you had fake snow, if you had different sequins, you could put more stuff in here. Any kind of embellishments would be cool. And so that just made it into a shaker card. So you're going to find that your sequins and stuff go all over the place, and just shake them around. And like I've got one going sideways, and it is what it is. So, all right, onto this. Now I did pop up the blue. I know in class last night, a couple people didn't want it any higher than it already was. So good call on that. I really like that idea. So I'm going to glue mine flat. If you want, you could pop it up as well. And that just goes on our card front like this. I think I mentioned that Seaside spray is about 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So Gloria, Stampin' Up! Sells these globes. You just asked what company. I sell these. If you are not a demonstrator and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to sell these to you. I'll be honest with you. They make 2 styles of these domes. Let me show you. That's a good question. I don't know if you have a Stampin' Up! Catalog. If you don't, contact me. My email's over there. I will hook you up with some catalogs. But on page 158 of the annual catalog for Stampin' Up! Are the domes, the Snow Globe Shaker domes. You get 10 of them for $6.50. And up here at the top, they just came out with these mason jar shaker domes. So they make, oh my gosh, look at this. They make a shaker card with the mason jar. So this is a class I have coming up in a couple weeks. So I'll show that to you in a little bit. But page 158 of the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. Hi, Vicki. All right, girls, we're getting there. I hear the thunder roar, and do you hear it through the I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just like we always said the angels are bowling right now. So we go here, the color against the white. Yeah, Seaside spray with white. Okay, so if you are making this at home and you don't have the sticker adhesive sheets, all I'm doing is a little bit of liquid glue back and forth on here. And again, when you put this down, you just have to be careful not to smear it all over the place. And if you get glue all over, just give it a second and try to wipe it off. And oh, I hear the rain. It's raining. Oh, and I got shimmery glue, but that's okay. Flip it over and grab some dimensionals. We're going to put, I'm just going to do 3, I think, on here like that. That should be sufficient. And pick them off. And then this is silver foil that Stampin' Up! Sells as well. And then this just nestles right underneath the shaker. It fits right like that. And get in there, girls. Lastly, second last, we have a bow. So everybody's got their bow from me. I made you a bow. This is the 3/8 inch silver edged white trim. And grab your glue dots. Oop, I got glue down there. Oh man. So if that happens to you, now you can see I've got some spots on here. That's adhesive. Grab your adhesive eraser, and that stuff comes off just like that. I'm going to put this down here. There you go. So now grab your glue dots, and we're going to put one right at the top left corner there, and you're going to put your bow right in there. Now, you know what I'm going to do to my tails. I'm going to put a glue dot right there, and I'm going to put one right about there, and then that will come down like that. Grab your ribbon scissors and trim your tails to the length that you like. And I always do them the same direction so that either they're going out or they're going in. I think that was right. And then I put 3 rhinestones in everybody's kits, or I think my mom might have. There's a big one, there's a small one, and a medium one. And I don't know if I have any medium ones left in my little kit here, but just grab another one. And actually, I think sometimes big diamonds are too big, so I'm just gonna put another little guy down there. So, but I think everybody's got a medium, small, and a large diamond. I put the medium one at the bottom here and the large and the small one there. So, are you able to send those in the mail? I would definitely say no, Anita. People asked me that last night in class as well. This card is thick, like thick. And I would have to say that this is at least it's like 3/8 inch thick. If you do mail this, what I would recommend doing, honestly, I would mail it in a bubble mailer like this. Honestly, like, it's gonna cost you $3 to mail it, potentially $4. But if you put it in a padded envelope like this, I think you're safe. But if you just put it in an envelope, like, watch this. I gave you girls the envelopes like this, but if you put this in here, I mean, it'll shut, but if you send this through the mail, they will squish this and it will be damaged, like, big time. So I would definitely pad it or put it in a nice envelope, not a traditional paper envelope. Thank you. And that flower stamp in the mason jar is in the book too. Awesome. Yep, it sure is. It sure is. All right, girls, I think that we finished this card as well. So there you have it. Four Christmas cards. I always love my Christmas in July class because it makes me make Christmas cards early. Then I can always say, oh, I make Christmas cards in July. So very, very cool. So you like that one. Give me some love for that one. I know that if you watched me from the very, very beginning, you know that I might have water in my basement. But I do have a couple things I want to share with you before I leave you tonight. I want to show you the cards that I have coming up for my next classes, because we're going to be stamping next Thursday. We're going to be doing the monthly class. And then after that, we have flowers for every season. And then we have the paper pumpkin party. So I want to just flip the camera back down and show you what we got. So, all right. Now next week, so I'm taking registrations for this class as well. So if you want to make these cards along with me, you'll reach out to me, send me an email, tell me you're interested. And I'm going to be working on these card kits this weekend. So it's always a good idea if you want to RSVP for the online class so I can mail them on Monday, because then you get them in time. So I know Kathy is an example where she told me on Tuesday, I put it in the mail Wednesday. Normally her mail arrives the next day, but it didn't work that way. So, all right, we're going to start with this one. We're going to make this card next week. It's using the Well Done stamp set. It's the suite of products. I used everything. And this one is from the Playful Pets suite of products. It's either a dog or a cat. So I've got equal amounts of both when I start, and you can either pick a cat theme or a dog theme. These trinkets are adorable. I love them. And then this last one, I kept it more of a universal. And this could be a birthday card, a sympathy card, a thinking of you card, anything. You can put any sentiment there. And I can't wait to show you how I made that right there. So very, very versatile card. And we're using some of the butterfly gems. So this is next week, Thursday. It's 3 cards for $12 or free with, I think for this class, I do a $30 order. If you're doing the online version, it's, if you do porch pickup, it's $12 or free with a $20 order. So that's the one class. And then following that is the Flowers for Every Season bundle class. And we're going to be making these 4 cards in 2 weeks. And this is the lemonade jar and using the new doilies, the vellum doilies. This is a pocket card. I love it. So this actually pops out like that. I got to stamp something in the inside of this one yet. But this is a cool pocket card. I had a catastrophe over here of stuff. So that's a pocket card using, so this is a super suite that comes with the Celebrate Sunflowers and the flowers for every season. Here's a very universal card too. I love this Just Jade. So that features Just Jade and some very pretty flowers for, look at my bows. Yeah, I'm very picky with my bows. I use some of the in-color dots there as well. And then lastly, we'll make the shaker card again. So it's the very same concept, but I want to show you how you cut it out and how you do the coloring of those flowers. And then it's that Just Jade ribbon that's part of that suite. So those are that 2 weeks. And for those of you girls that are looking for something to do tomorrow night, I have this DSP sampler class. So if you want to see how I make this, I actually have 2 kits of this available yet. I have all the paper and the squares cut. I was waiting to see if anybody else signed up, but I would have 2 sets of this. And so tomorrow night, we're going to be putting this together live at 6 o'clock. And they're all the different DSPs, Designer Series papers, that Stampin' Up! Has available. And it has the paper with the circles, and it's great if you're a demonstrator that you can use these in classes, or if you're an avid customer and you want to see what everything looks like, then you have this. So this is tomorrow night. And then last but not least, for upcoming classes, you girls remember this, the next clue is we have a mystery card making night on Wednesday, Wednesday of next week. All thanks to my cousin Kelly, who's my marketing manager. She had so much fun with the last one, and I think all you girls had so much fun with the last one that she helped me put together a second one. And it's next Wednesday, July 15th, 6 o'clock Central. And we are going to be making another card together. So if you're looking for the details on this, you have 2 ways you can find it. You need to go to my Cards by Christine Facebook page and go into the events section and scroll down till July 15th. And all of the details are in the details section. You have to tap on it, and it'll tell you all the measurements that you need for the card to have ready. And you're going to put the card together with me based off of all of my next clues. Okay? And then, what else? Yeah, I think that's I think there was something else I wanted to say, but, so mystery card night next week, Wednesday, and then Thursday is online class, and then tomorrow is the DSP sampler. So we're going to be together 4 times, girls, in the next, tonight and 3 more times in the next, basically 7 days or 8 days. So you're going to get your fill of me. So, okay. And then winners. I have 2 winners. If you're still watching, I hope you're still watching. Let's see. I actually have 3 winners from last week. So I'm going to flip down here. So I have 3 cards that I made from last week's. The last card, I think I used it for something else already, but I'm giving away these 3 cards from last week's class. And if you're watching, and I don't know who you are because I've gotten a lot of new people, I don't have everybody's addresses anymore. You gotta tell me your address so I can mail you these cards. So, drum roll. Brrr, on this card, winner chicken dinner is Nancy Acola. Nancy Acola. It's Accola. You were chosen for this card from watching last week's Ornate class. So if you're watching, I'll need your address. Drum roll. Brrr, on this one, winner is Janet Budd. Oh my gosh. I saw you pop on just maybe 20 minutes ago. So Janet, I have your address. So I'll pop this card in the mail to you. You were the lucky winner from that one. Last but not least, drum roll. Barbara Brown. Okay, Barbara, I know that you were watching. I'm not sure if you still are watching, but Barbara and Nancy, I don't have your addresses. So I'm going to also post it in last week's class that you won, and if you could give me your addresses so I can put the cards in the mail to you, I would appreciate that. So yay. Okay, Angela had fun. Girls, I have to apologize in advance. I always say yay. I don't know. It's just something I do, and I just get excited. So if I say it a lot, I'm sorry, but it's always exciting and fun, right? So yeah, Diane really likes the embossing folder on the Jade card. That is from the Touches of taste or tasteful touches, suite of products. So Jennifer Jones is watching. Yes. You prepped for your mystery card today. You are rocking it, girlfriend. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Cool beans. I'm so happy to hear that. So yes, what you girls should do, you have a long week now until next Wednesday to get your measurements and your paper and everything cut. If you're measuring and cutting and something looks off, let me know. I hope it's not. Both Kelly and I proofread that many times. So hopefully we have all of that data right. So on that note, girls, I'm afraid to go into my basement. Diane, I will be calling you if you want to come over and help me with a mop and a bucket. But let's pray that I go down there and it's not so crazy. So Susan, you're just joining. You are a little bit late to the party, but that's okay. You can always watch the replay. It was a lot of fun doing the Christmas cards with everybody tonight. I hope you enjoyed them all, and I hope that they inspired you to make some at home if you didn't participate in the class kits with me, the class card kits. I love to see your creations, and so I have Share It Sundays. Not cats. You like the pine bough cats. No, that would be kind of crazy. I really like it when you girls share stuff. So my cousin Kelly, she puts out their Share It Sunday. You girls are doing great on sharing stuff. It's always fun to see what everybody else is making, even if it's not Stampin' Up. We don't judge. Like when you're coming in and sharing your stuff, we just love that you're crafting and being creative and sharing it with us. I mean, I love to sell you stuff. You see down here, I have my host code, and that is still active. If you need anything for your stamping needs, I truly appreciate every order that I get. And I couldn't do this without you guys buying things from me and supporting me. So I truly appreciate that. So if you ever need help placing orders or needing to get anything, I'm here for you. If you need catalogs, reach out to me. I'd love to get some catalogs in your hands. So you girls are great. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay hunkered in for tonight. It's raining here, and so I know that a lot of you are nearby. So stay in and don't go out in this crappy weather. Lots of sunshine and happiness to you, even though it's raining and stormy and cloudy. Tomorrow we'll have another day so that we can share some sun. So, all right, girls, we'll see you we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.